Anaphylaxis affects around 1 in 50 people in America, with most researchers speculating that that number is closer to 1 in 20. Anaphylaxis, as written by an author from the Mayo Clinic, causes your immune system to release a flood of chemicals that can cause you to go into shock. Your blood pressure drops suddenly and your airways narrow, blocking breathing.
The same author describes how anaphylaxis can be life-threatening within minutes or even seconds. When someone goes into anaphylactic shock, the first action recommended is to inject yourself with an epinephrine autoinjector. These injectors are more commonly known as EpiPens. EpiPen autoinjectors work by injecting a needle of epinephrine into the patient's thigh muscle. The epinephrine will immediately start to work by constricting veins and pumping more blood, causing the symptoms of anaphylaxis to quickly subside. The road to making EpiPens as we know them today started with Sheldon Kaplan in the 1970s, when he created the combo packs, which were epinephrine autoinjectors that came in packs of 2. At the time, these combo packs were only used in the US military and hadn't been put on the market yet. These discoveries and inventions finally came together to create the first EpiPen in 1987. The EpiPen used today was patented by Milan in 2007, making the company worth $11.43 billion as of 2018.
A standard 2-pack EpiPen costs around $650 to $700. While this may be acceptable for a one-time purchase, EpiPens do, however, expire. As of August of 2018, the expiration date was determined to be 24 months. EpiPens are also temperature sensitive, and leaving them in extreme temperatures for too long will damage the epinephrine inside. That means that every 2 years, people that need multiple EpiPens with them at all times will end up spending up to thousands of dollars every 2 years just to stay alive. People with severe allergies have to pay for a lot more than EpiPens as well. Treatments, doctor's appointments, tests, blood work, and hospital visits are just a few things that skyrocket the cost of having this chronic illness.
Take me, for example. I have 4 allergy doctors in 4 different states, all of which can cost up to $1,000 per visit. I also have to pay for airfare, hotels, and treatments when I have an appointment, and my family has to take time off work to come with me. All these things, including buying EpiPens, is crucial to my survival, and my family would be spending thousands of dollars a year if we didn't have insurance. I keep 8 working EpiPens and AbbieQs, which I'll talk about later, at all times, which would total $20,000 without insurance.
Even though Grace's EpiPens are mostly covered by insurance, 44 million Americans have no health insurance, with another 38 million being poorly insured. Should 82 million Americans have to choose between a mountain of debt and staying alive? EpiPens weren't this expensive when they first launched, though. A 2-pack was only a little over $100 in 2007. That price has risen by over 600% over the course of 12 years. The market of the EpiPen was followed by some copycats like Twinject, AbbieQ, and Adrenaclick. Twinject and Adrenaclick were both discontinued, and AbbieQ was recalled in 2015 for dosage issues. All the customers that used these failed companies were forced to use the only approved product, the EpiPen, and Milan drastically raised the price because they knew that people with allergies would still have to buy their product regardless.
AbbieQ has now been reinstated as of 2017 and is the EpiPen's only somewhat prominent competitor. The AbbieQ is smaller, has a speaker that tells the patient how to use it, and only needs to be injected for 5 seconds instead of 10. Unfortunately, these added features have caused the price of the AbbieQ to be very high at around $5,000 without insurance. This price has caused many people to not use the AbbieQ, and in 2015, the AbbieQ's best year, only a tiny fraction of people bought it compared to the EpiPen.
Even though EpiPen has a competitor, the AbbieQ isn't anywhere close to threatening the market of the EpiPen, causing Milan to be the controller of a virtual monopoly. A virtual monopoly is where there are only a few insignificant competitors to the person that controls the monopoly, so the controller can fluctuate the price of their product and still profit because they're the only successful business in that field.
There are many ways to reversing the virtual monopoly that Milan has on epinephrine autoinjectors. The government could put a price cap on EpiPens, causing the company to only be able to charge customers up to a certain amount. The government could also buy the rights of EpiPens from Milan. One other significant way to dissolve this monopoly is to put more competitors on the market. In fact, the FDA just recently approved the first generic EpiPen.
Maybe these generic EpiPens will just go out of business like every other competitor has, but it is a step in the right direction in assuring people that they will be able to get the medication that they need to survive.